Today we are going to talk about the Beni Mazar massacre. And before we start, peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. In the early morning of December 29th, 2005, the residents of Shams el-Din village in Beni Mazar center discovered several bodies, mutilated and scattered in different places inside the village. When they started counting the bodies, it turned out that there were exactly 10 dead people from 3 different families. The victims were 7 men, 2 women, and a child, ranging in age from 7 to 45 years old. Among them were a primary school teacher, a lawyer, and the son of the village Mukhtasar. Their names were Hassan al-Sayyid, his wife Fadia, their son Mohammed, who was only 7 years old, Kamal al-Sayyid, his mother Amira, also called Ustada Salama, Fakhri Hassan, and his wife Nagwa, and Ahmad el-Kirsh. All these people lived in the same street, Abu al-Makarim Street, in the village of Shams el-Din in Minya Governorate, Upper Egypt. At exactly 6 a.m., the alarm spread like wildfire among the villagers who gathered in front of the house of the Mukhtar. He was shocked to find his son Kamal lying dead near the sewage canal with a sharp wound on his neck and back. And when he went closer, he smelled a foul odor coming from the body, which indicated that the body had been lying there for more than 1 day. After that, the body of the Mukhtar's mother, who lived next door, was found in the yard of her house, and she had a similar wound around her neck. The Mukhtar immediately contacted the security services, but unfortunately, when the police arrived at the scene, they saw that the incident had already turned into a massacre. The 2 victims who were found were just the tip of the iceberg, because the police found the rest of the victims, one after another, all killed in the same way. To make matters worse, the condition of the bodies left much to be desired. Some were beheaded, others had their limbs cut off, while the private parts of the women had been mutilated. It seems that the killer did not spare anyone, not even a 7-year-old child. That's right. One of the victims was a 7-year-old boy. In fact, the way he died is what shocked everyone the most. According to investigations, the child was stabbed 21 times before dying, and then his body was thrown into a well near the house. Another victim was found next to a wall in the eastern part of the village, wearing only his underpants. The head of the victim, Mr. Hassan al-Sayyid, was found far away from his body on the road leading to the village from Beba, about 3 kilometers away. The sight was so appalling that the villagers refused to carry the body back to the village. On the other hand, the body of the lawyer Kamal al-Sayyid was found lying next to his brother-in-law, Mr. Hassan al-Sayyid. They both had similar stab wounds and deep cuts in their necks. This massacre raised many questions that no one could answer. How did the killer manage to slaughter 10 people? Why were the bodies mutilated and scattered? Where is the killer, and how did he do it? As soon as the news broke, the streets of Minya Governorate witnessed unprecedented anger and protests against the apparent failure of the state to protect its citizens. Demonstrators demanded severe punishment for the killer, whoever he may be, and stressed that such crimes were not uncommon in the governorate. However, the public anger took another turn when the police announced that they had arrested the murderer. His name was Mohammed Abdel Latif, who was about 27 years old at the time and known to have psychological issues. He lived in the same village where the massacre took place. The people knew him because he was fond of singing and playing the tambour, a traditional Arabic drum. Mohammed was a bachelor and spent most of his time wandering around the village. He had a good relationship with all the victims. Some witnesses said that they saw him at the funeral of the sister of Mr. Hassan al-Sayyid, one of the victims, and that he was crying a lot during the funeral. He was also seen shortly before the incident throwing stones at cars passing by the road. During the investigations, Mohammed confessed to committing the crime. He told the public prosecutor that he had gone to the house of Mr. Hassan al-Sayyid and knocked on the door. When Hassan opened the door, he attacked him and killed him with a knife. After that, he went to the neighbors' houses and did the same thing until he killed all the victims. He claimed that he had planned the massacre for a long time because he hated the victims and felt that they had wronged him somehow. He also said that he used the same knife to kill all the victims and that he threw the knife in the Nile River after the incident. Later, the defendant said that he didn't remember anything about the incident and that he couldn't explain why he had committed it, so he was sent to a psychiatric hospital for evaluation. Surprisingly, the doctors found that he was mentally fit and fully aware of what he was doing when he committed the crime. Therefore, he could not escape criminal responsibility. At that moment, people began to wonder if this young man, who was known to be harmless and quiet, really committed such a horrific crime. The matter was further complicated when it was found that the time frame in which Mohammed confessed to carrying out the massacre was too short, only 2.5 hours, which meant that he would have to kill one person every 50 minutes, and some of the victims' houses were closed from the inside and had to be forced open. Besides, the forensic report revealed that some of the victims had defensive wounds, meaning that they tried to defend themselves and did not surrender easily. In addition, according to the testimonies of some villagers, they heard gunshots at around 8 o'clock in the evening of December 28th, but they thought that they were fireworks. This casts doubt on Mohammed's confession that he committed the massacre between 11:30 p.m. and 2 a.m. So it became impossible for him to commit the crime alone in the time frame he mentioned. After all the evidence was presented, Mohammed was tried in a criminal court. During the trial, he appeared calm and composed, as if he wasn't involved in such a horrific crime. In the end, the court acquitted him due to insufficient evidence and doubts about his confession. After his release, Mohammed returned to his normal life and married one of the daughters of the village sheikh. However, he kept asking everyone who met him, do they think he actually committed the crime? It is noteworthy that this case has never been solved until now, and nobody knows the real killer of the Beni Mazar massacre. Some believe that the actual perpetrator escaped and was able to flee the country. Others say that the police intentionally put the blame on Mohammed to cover up the mistake of not being able to solve the crime. Maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. Whatever the case, the Beni Mazar massacre remains one of the most horrific crimes in Egypt and a mystery that has never been solved. Do you think Mohammed was actually innocent, or who do you think committed the massacre and why? We are waiting for your opinions in the comments section. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share the video. If this is your first time watching, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to get all new updates. See you in the next video. Peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.